Welcome back to the Full Blitz Podcast, y'all. I'm your host, Big Easy. With me is the new permanent co-host. Y'all saw him last time, but he's with us now permanently. Our guy, Darren. What's good, bro? What you got for us today, man?
Man, Kyle, we got some stuff to talk about today. Uh, you just know free agency opened last week, and man, it was busy. It was crazy. I mean, I seen a lot of stuff I never thought I would see. It. We see Panthers spending money. We see guys getting traded, teams thinking about it, saying, nah, I'm good, swapping them out for someone else like they're nothing, sending them where it came from. Kyler Murray's a Viking. Mike Evans left the Bucks. It's just been something, man. It's been something.
So,
And
would you agree, right? Because I thought this when I mean, those two things right there, right? I think the NFL is just going to be weird. Mike Evans not in a Bucks uniform, right?
oh
You
yeah,
you get
oh yeah,
Kyler gets released, and then because of his contract, he goes to the Vikings on a veteran minimum. Like you get Kyler Murray on a veteran minimum. I mean, look, I think this has been easily one of the best off seasons, free agency that we've had in years. I mean, I've
oh
loved it.
yeah. The most action, record money on day one. Like we're talking a couple billion, like gone, like it's nothing.
I mean, what we
Life changing
have,
money.
we had over between Tennessee and Oakland, which were the two big team spenders. I think Tennessee, as it sits today, after some of the other signings they had, I think they're at like just over 300 million. I think the Raiders were at, I think just over. I mean, we're looking at almost over half a billion just in two teams. I mean,
Crazy.
insane. So
Now,
you got, we're looking at the free agencies. You said it, right? It's been crazy, some of these signings, but one of the ones that me and you kind of talked about briefly before the show, and I think because it happened so early, it's kind of flown under the radar, but I'm gonna call it out. How do you give Alec Pierce 28.5 million annually?
he might have some dirt on somebody in that facility.
I'm just like,
He's a heck of a player,
I mean,
but man,
I'm not saying he's not a good player. That's not at all what I'm saying. But who was Alec Pierce 2 years ago? Right? Like 28.5 million. You getting up there. Now, I mean, I get it. He's not at the, what is it, 31 or 32 that you got guys like
yeah.
Chase and Jefferson. But you have a dude that has one good season and you put him 4 million annually under those types of dudes. What? Now look, go ahead, Indy, make all the mistakes you want. Please. You made another one giving Daniel Jones 88 million over 2 years. You tell Anthony Richardson that he can go seek a trade. I mean, please, y'all, you let Pittman, that's another one. Pittman Jr. goes to Pittsburgh. Now you got DK Metcalf and Pittman Jr. in Pittsburgh. I mean, it's been wild.
No, it has, and it's kind of really a reflection of the market. Because when you talk about that type of money, you got guys like Jalen Phillips, making 30 a year, and you can argue that he only had one good year because the years before that, dealt with a few injuries, goes to Philly, has a few highlight plays, boom, 30 million a year. But it's like 2, 3 years from now, that 30 million, that 28 and a half might look real sweet. So you don't really know in these positions what to do, kind of. You're banking on potential, you're banking on a guy, continuing that trajectory, but you got to get that money to them today to see what they do tomorrow. And it's always going to be a risk, but I think it's just a reflection of where the market is today and probably where these GMs see it going 5 years from now and trying to get a deal in before it's too late.
Well, for sure, right? Like obviously that's always the case, especially when you're talking about premier positions, right? And I think the I'm cool with the Jalen Phillips contract because you're always going to pay a premium for pass rushers.
Always.
That's what it is. I mean, look at the other pass rusher that people kept saying wasn't going to be, he wasn't going to get paid. Yeah, well, Baltimore played Trey Hendrickson $28 million a year with $60 million guaranteed, 112 overall over 4 years. You want to tell me that's not paying
Plus
a
age
premium?
30.
And yeah, so I agree with you there, right? And I think the quarterback position is obviously always going to get overpaid. And I dog Daniel Jones, but he was playing really well. He had the Colts playing really well until he got hurt last year. I mean, $44 million? I don't.
Well, that's the market for just a regular average starting quarterback. Makes you want to go outside and warm up, because if you're competent, you're going to probably get, look at Malik Willis. You're going to probably get at least 20 mil
Hey,
if you can just have a decent game.
now look, Malik, I'm not mad at 60 million for Malik, right? First off, you're going into a system where I think he's really gonna thrive. You have HN in the backfield. I didn't like that you go out and you give Malik 60 million and then you trade away Waddle, who was gonna be his number one.
Yeah.
You're not drafting high enough to really be able to go get. You're not gonna get a Tate. What's old boy from USC? I can't remember all these dudes' names, but you're not gonna.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a premier wide receiver. At least you don't expect to get a premier wide receiver when you're picking in the middle. Because where's Miami picking? 12th?
I think they have 112th, and then the first that they did get, I want to say, is a little late. It's back there.
Yeah.
But Miami is they're in a situation where I would say just keep watching, because that position they're in right now may not be where they're at come draft time. They got 4 thirds. So they got a lot of picks to kind of package some stuff up if they want to make a jump up. But they definitely gashed the team. If I'm Malik Willis, I feel played to a degree, because it's like, hey, I signed up for Jalen. I get here and then he's gone. So it's like, what's going on?
And you know Tyreek ain't coming back, right? So
no, he's already gone.
So
Yeah.
your number one wide receiver is a tight end in Darren Waller, who came back from retirement, was balling out, another dude that was playing really good until he got hurt. But I'm looking at this and going, now, you said it. They got a lot of mid-round draft picks. And when you have those mid-round draft picks, that's when you can start filling in some really good holes. I mean, we've seen some really good guys come out of the 3rd and 4th round. I'm not going to say which ones, because I already know y'all will roast me if I'm even wrong by half a pick like y'all do with people's names. But you had said something that about quarterbacks, about going out and warming up. My man, if you would have told me 15 years ago that a center would be getting paid $27 million a year, I would have never stopped playing football. I would have never stopped playing football. Yo, 27 million.
Shoot, I played receiver. I'm missing out too. I'm 36. I could still be out there.
Look, and you that good slot receiver size.
Yeah. Good quick 20. Longevity. Let's welcome.
So for those of you that don't know who we're talking about Tyler Lindenbaum. Center, he was with the Las Vegas Raiders, and when he got signed, when the Ravens signed him, that was probably the biggest talking point for 2 or 3 days, because they now makes him the highest paid interior offensive lineman in NFL history. For those of you that don't know the difference, an interior offensive lineman is the center and the 2 guards. Tackles are always going to get paid differently, and blindside tackles are always going to be the highest paid because they're the most important offensive lineman to the quarterback. But dude, 27 million a year? That's not his whole
crazy
contract. That's a year. And then because that was the other thing too. This is what got me, right? Total guaranteed, right? I don't think people paid attention to this. 3-year contract, value 81 million, annual 27, 81 million guaranteed. He has a fully guaranteed contract as an offensive lineman.
Of the highest paid. That's crazy. And it's It's like, it's not to say it to discredit the position, but when you think about 28 million, you're thinking of a guy that's either a quarterback, running back, receiver, some type of flashy skill player. For that to be the guy that's dead center in the middle is crazy. Like, that just speaks to how good he has to be to
Yeah.
get
And,
that money, and then they say, we give it all to you right now. We don't even need to see nothing else. It's
like
yours.
he's gotta be massive. Now, you had sent over a list of guys, and one of the guys, it's actually the first guy on your list, and I can't wait. Because the question I have for you, do you think Trent McDuffie makes the Rams more of a contender this year than they were last year? And was it worth what they gave up to get him?
I would say, well, first part of the question, yes, it definitely makes them better than last year because I watched them twice. They played us twice in Carolina, and the one thing that we knew we had, thankfully, that game was number zero, I believe. Forbes, whenever he was on T Mac or whoever he was on, we knew we were eating all day, every day. So when you got guys out there that are just, what, barbecue chicken, like Shaq would say, you need someone out there that's going to at least take half the field away. With McDuffie, though, he is more of a slot type of corner. So it's more of the issue, can he take that step where he can shut that one side down? And if he can, then it's just going to pay dividends for Los Angeles.
I just
But it's
124 million, right? 124 million, a first rounder, a fifth rounder, a sixth rounder, and then a third rounder next year. And then again, you said it. He's a phenomenal corner, but again, he's a slot corner. To me, that seems like a lot to give up for a slot corner, a guy that you're not 100% sure can he bounce on the outside. Is he going to be able to take out a AJ Brown? Is he going to be able to take out a DK Metcalf, a Mike Evans, the guy Terry McLean, right? Like, is that how you say his name? That y'all's
for
writers, McCorn.
McLaren. Yeah.
Is he going to be able to take out the number one? And at 124 million over 4 years, you better be able to take out the number one.
That's it, because that's what he better have said to demand that money. You know what I'm saying? In negotiation, they like, I'm taking it away. Because like I said, he's a very good player who's shown that he can do work on the outside, but his skill was, and the slot is important. It's important to have good slot corners, don't get me wrong. But like you said, it's like, it's not the end all be all if there are guys that are on the outside getting cooked. So it's like you gotta shut them down. So we'll have to see, like, like there has to be something in the tape. Like we watch the game, we digest a lot, but there's still certain nuances that are on tape that he might have that we don't see. Certain footwork, certain hip movement that's like, okay. And the coaches, sometimes it's the coach's ego, not necessarily the head coach, but you got like the cornerback coach. I can fix him. I can make him a lockdown. I can do that. Bring him here and let me work with him. Because you
124
got
million.
guys like that.
You better hope. 124 million.
Yeah.
You better hope.
And if he said that, best believe if they say, you know what, we're out on McDuffie, that coach is probably right behind him too. But it's like, you got, now it's time. You get that money, you got to put your money where your mouth is. And there's some guys that, have skills to do a lot more. And sometimes they're handicapped by the system too. So, Kansas City could have been a little too arrogant when they was like, hey, we got Watson on that side. You can play the slot and we'll be okay. We don't really need defense. We can drop 60 anytime we want. Who knows? But, I'm never going to be mad at someone getting the money. But when you get certain amounts, you got to show us something. So
I
the
agree.
scrutiny has only increased because now the expectations have grown.
So a guy we kind of touched on a little bit. We're going to talk about these two guys, and then there's some comments that came out about another free agent. But two big moves for the quarterback position in the free agent market was Kyler Murray, obviously getting released and going to Minnesota. We ain't got to spend a bunch of time on this. All I want to know is who's QB1 in Minnesota right now? Is it Murray, McCarthy, or Wentz?
From what I've seen, It's JJ. Oh no, I'm tripping. It's Kyler. From what I've seen from JJ, I'm losing a lot of confidence. Your rookie year, you get hurt. You try to give him grace on that, but then that second year where they get rid of a Sam Darnold who lit it up for you,
Ugh.
and then it's like you fall flat like that, and then Sam makes it no better going off and winning the Super Bowl. So that only hurt JJ more than people know. Like
Oh
him
yeah,
winning
for
that Super
sure.
Bowl hurt JJ a lot. So Carson Wentz, you kind of know what you got at this point. You got a solid quarterback that can make plays. Kylie just gives you more of a excitement factor, big play, splash play factor. And it's like you look at Kevin McConnell, getting his hands on the Kyler. He usually deals with pocket quarterbacks, but when you got a weapon at 1.3 million, you're going to play
You're
with it.
gonna, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like there's no way that Kyler doesn't get the nod first, or it's his job to lose, basically,
I agree.
because everyone believes like you're going to come in here and it's just going to make it work. But at the same time, I seen you in Arizona with what they said was the Maserati and Marvin Harrison Jr. So now we're going to see, was it Marvin Harrison or was it Kyler? Because we know who Justin Jefferson
I was
is.
gonna say you went from a
So
Maserati to a Bugatti, like
right. So we know who Justin is. So if you can't get him the ball, then now we know it's been you. But I've seen Kyler go. I've seen him in person play too many times. Seen him go crazy. He's still super super fast, super quick, and
I'm
it's
with you.
like
I think it's
they can
Murray's job to
damage.
lose, right? I think the real conversation is the quarter because there's going to be a quarterback battle, right? But it's going to be between JJ McCarthy and Carson Wentz for that number two, right?
Yeah.
And I personally, if I think if Wentz beats out JJ, I think that might be it, right? Because we never see a dude go from 1 to 3 back to 1. It usually doesn't happen. Um, my only concern with Kyler Murray is O'Connell likes a under center quarterback.
Yeah.
Kyler didn't play a lot of under center in Arizona. He damn sure didn't play a lot of under center in Oklahoma. So I'm curious to see how those styles are going to match, especially with his height. When you look at some of the more successful smaller quarterbacks, the Baker Mayfields, the Drew Breeses, they played a lot of gun. They weren't. Now Breeze was under center because Sean Payton, his system has an under center kind of undertone to it. But I'm curious to see how that happens. So we're both on the same page there. The last quarterback, and obviously there's the other player, but do you understand the thought process of Atlanta bringing in Tua?
No, it's so for how you look at the Colts and you're like, keep it up. That's how I look at Atlanta. Like, I don't, I don't condone domestic violence or anything like that. But when their rookie edge dude got in trouble, I was like, all right, great, he's gone. And then they said, yeah, let's bank on Tua. We got Michael Penix here, who's left-handed, already injury prone. Let's bring in Tua, who's one concussion away from just the short bus. But it's like, hey, if that's what you want to do, I will not stop you
I condone
because
it.
I am all
I
right with
I
that.
stamp the approval on
Right.
and I don't understand it and I can't stand watching national media, and everybody keeps talking about, well, now they got two left hand quarter. What the hell does that have to do with anything? Like what is Tua being left handed have to do? You could hit him with a wiffle ball bat and he would get a concussion. I just
No matter what hand the ball in.
it was a strange move for me. I didn't really understand it. Um, I'm
Well,
really
look at the coach.
yeah. Well, I
He,
mean,
he's been confused in the
you
last two
know,
years at least.
yeah. He just we won't talk about Stefanski.
This is
Um,
what I think. At least with the two moves, it kind of goes back to what I said with ego. You got ego on the not the quarterbacks, excuse me, but the coaches. I feel like Kevin McConnell. Well, I don't want to say he's wrong, but I think he's looking at this as kind of like a new challenge for himself. Like everyone praises me, I'm such an offensive genius guru, so it's like I should be able to work with this and Now watch what I can draw up. People think I'm only a pocket quarterback guru because that's all I had.
But that
I've
one
had
makes
this in the back of
sense,
my playbook.
right?
Yeah,
Like at what you said it at 1.3 million, and you get a guy that at MLB teams were like, "Yo, if you don't want to play football no more,
come on
come
back.
on, you can still come
We still
play."
got your contract.
So
Yeah,
you still have an elite athlete. Kyler Murray is an elite athlete,
exactly.
right? And when you
Exactly.
get that kind of player who's got that kind of experience, and you are now putting him with a team with JJ, Addison, Hawkinson, an offensive line, a defense that is nasty.
Did they bring back Jones too, the running back?
No, I think Adam Jones left. I
Okay.
think Adam. I don't know who that running back is actually. Who is
It
Minnesota's
was a
runner? I
little
don't know.
committee last year.
But the last player before we kick into one of our next segments, did you see the article that had come out about Kenneth Walker Jr. or the third signing with Kansas City, and then after he got to Kansas City, he had talked about how he didn't like the way he had to share snaps in the backfield. And
I didn't like the way he had to share
I didn't
snaps.
like it, dude. Did you know that he was at 49% and how you say his name?
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet was at 47. There was a 2% difference between. Now I get it. He got hurt, and look, tandem running backs when they're good like that. When you look at what that Detroit had and Sonic and Knuckles with Gibbs and Montgomery, sometimes it works. But Walker is just one of them running backs. He's just like, bro, put him in the game and let him go.
He's one of them ones like I'm big on my parlays and stuff, so I always like Kenneth Walker because I always knew his potential, how good he was. I watched him in Michigan State, and he I would just get so upset because he'll start cooking, then they'll throw in Charbonnet. It's like they just had to use him or something. And I'm not trying to like, crap on him and act like he's not a good player because he is, but I feel like the Seahawks thought a little too highly of him and where they wanted to use him too much. They wanted to be too cute. And if it was to the effect where you're worried about snaps, durability, things like that, I would have got it. But a guy like Walker just is too much of a beast for me to feel that way.
Dude's
So
nasty.
he's the type of guy where you feed, feed, feed. He tells you when he wants to check out, and then you throw Charbonnet in and just be thankful you got a guy that's coming in that can
Yeah.
run through the hole
You
too.
wait for Walker to give you that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, look, again, guys, we've talked about it. Free agency this year has been insane. Players leaving teams. When they get to another teams, they say other things. I mean, it's been wild, right? But obviously, we got to get into the free agencies of our teams. But before we do, y'all, I know y'all remember a while back, I promoted the Piper and the Hard Times Revelations album, right? Really, I mean, just amazing blues band. They're phenomenal. I've seen them live a bunch of times. Well, if you have a chance, go check out their new album. All right. You can get it anywhere. Their music is all over the place. Go check them out. It's Piper and the Hard Times. And this album is called Good Company, y'all. Go check them out.
And that's what it is. It's good company.
Good company,
Like
man.
that's that ride music. You can ride all day.
Oh man, I'm telling you, their music is like just soulful blues. It's really dope. The drummer David is he knows about where I'm from in New Orleans and things like that. It's a dope, and the
There's
band is
never a
cool.
cloudy day.
Nah,
Never a
man.
cloudy day when you hear it.
They are where it's at. So we got to get into free agency for each of our teams, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna go first because I feel like we was better. I feel like
You spent more.
I wish we damn sure spent more, but we had
You
to,
spent better.
right? We were coming into free agency with it's weird with the way that cap gets adjusted and everything like that, but we were coming in with either the first or second highest amount in free agency. And then when we cut L'Jarius Sneed, that saved us, I think, like 11 or something more million. We got Calvin Ridley, which I have to talk about this. I don't think people understand how big of a move that is. Calvin Ridley restructured his contract, took his base contract for this year from $15 million down to $8 million. He saved us $11.5 million in the cap space. And now he is coming back healthy and he wants to be here. He wants to play with Cam Ward. He's back with Brian Daboll, his offensive coordinator from Alabama. He's got Wan'Dale Robinson now, who is a phenomenal slot receiver and is just a really good possession player. He saw Alec Iomanner. He saw DK. Like, he saw Helm. He sees it. And now he wants to be here. And now the wide receiver room went from a bunch of rookies to Wan'Dale Robinson, who I'm cool with what we paid him. I have no problem with 4 years, $70 million, basically $40 million guaranteed for a guy that last season had 92 catches, just over 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think he had 1,000 yards the season before that. And this is another guy that is reuniting with Brian Daboll. This is an offense that if we can figure out our interior line. Now, we got Skorensky at left guard. We have Latham at right tackle. We have Dan Moore at left tackle. That right guard and center position, we missed out on the center in free agency. That's the real big part of our free agency that I kind of was upset about. But the offense is really starting to look good. And then my man, let me tell you about the defense. Tennessee went out and spent some money on some defensive players, and I am not mad at it. Robert Saleh is a guru when it comes to defenses. The Jets were one of the best defensive football teams in the league when Robert Saleh was there. Everybody knows what he did when he was with the Niners. You have Jeffrey Simmons. You trade Devontae Sweat for Jeremiah Johnson, right? Just a straight up trade, player for player, which gives you a rusher. Then you go out and sign John Franklin Myers, who was a phenom for Denver last year. And you get him at $63 million. He is a certified pass rusher. I mean, they just... It was phenomenal. And then, of course, we go out and do things that always make me smile, like sign Morgan Cox, our long snapper, right? I love that kind of stuff. I do. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, call me crazy. Cordell Float or Float. JJ. Yeah, man. Like, those are just great. They're great signings. You know, we did sign a lot of Giants players.
And they have value that a lot of people don't understand.
Absolutely. People don't understand how important a long
and a few Jets.
Yeah, we signed. Look, we went New York heavy, and I'm cool with that. I ain't got no problem with it. I really liked the 2 cornerback signings of Alontae Taylor and Cordell Float, right? These are 2 shutdown corners. These are guys that are going to come out, and they're going to take your 1 and 2 away. That's just what they're going to do. I loved, and people dog me for this one. I loved the signing of Mitch Trubisky. Okay. I loved the signing. Why? Because that is a veteran quarterback now sitting behind your second year athletic quarterback in Cam Ward, and he can teach him. He can help move him along. Will Levis will probably get traded, which is cool, right? I think the only place I'm torn, right, is now that we've made all of these moves. We've signed some other tight ends. We've signed some kind of plug-and-play offensive linemen that I'm not too thrilled about. Backup guys with the Giants, one of the backup tackles with the Chargers. But where I'm real interested in is what we do now at number 4 in the draft. Do we say, you know something, we're confident with what we did in free agency on the defensive side, and let's go draft Jeremiah Love?
I knew that's what you was about to say.
Like, let's go draft Jeremiah Love.
They're afraid that he might not get past 3, but I'm with you. I think like it's set up for that pick.
You think Arizona's going to take him at 3?
I don't know, but I know they don't really have much right now either, even though they got James Conner who's getting older. But like
Didn't they
once
just
he went
sign?
down last year, they ran through like a few.
Yeah, but Arizona just signed Tyler Algier from Atlanta.
He did, but he's always been like, he's like he is the happy Zach Charbonnet. He's the backup that'll come in and eat, but he doesn't mind if he gets 4 or 5 carries. But I
Well,
don't know
yeah,
if he signed for a bigger role. So if that is the case, then that probably does solidify you guys are getting love.
because the
But
way I see it, Mendoza's going 1, right?
oh yeah,
Reese is probably going to go 2 to the Jets. If I had to think about it, Bailey's been climbing charts, but I think Reese from Ohio State is still probably going to go 2. I think Bain or Bailey. I think Arizona goes defense because there's no quarterback
yeah.
you're going to go at 3 with after Mendoza, right?
They did lose Calais Campbell,
So
so it'd be smart.
I think they go defense. I think they either go Bailey from Texas Tech or Bain from Miami. And I think because, again, Tennessee's got 35, 66, and then like two fourth rounders. They got a lot of really good mid rounders that they could go wide receiver, that they could go edge. And Jeremiah Love is the best player in this year's draft, hands down. Like he's the most athletic. And you pair him with that offense, and you give Cam Ward another weapon. Now this is a team. This is a team that could. I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm not doing that as craziness, but we could see Tennessee do what New England did.
Yeah.
And if they don't go,
Okay.
if they don't go Jeremiah Love, I want Bain. Because that dude,
Yeah, I like Bane.
I want
He
Bane.
is a beast.
That dude is
He's a beast.
violent.
He is Bane.
He is just, and something we didn't talk about this, and I didn't want to talk about it because I thought about it when the show started. From where our teams are at free agency wise, and I want you to do this with the Panthers as well, and where I think they can draft. I want to know what you think and where your team ends up record-wise and position-wise in the NFC South and the AFC South. I'm saying it now. We go 10-7. And we win the AFC South.
Winning at 10-7.
We
So
win.
Jacksonville can't get 10 games next year. Texans can't get 10 games either.
No. So Houston's strange. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this real quick, but I do think Houston is the biggest threat to Tennessee. I think Jacksonville is just, they're kind of all over the place. They got parts, but losing ETN, that's going to be big. I think they're going to feel that.
They had a little ego.
Yeah,
I think. They
yeah.
kind of let people go thinking they would be all right.
They let Christian Kirk go, and I think they didn't really kind of pay attention to how key he was in pivotal moments. Like, he didn't have big numbers, but he came through when they needed it.
Exactly.
And Indy, I don't know, man. I don't know really what to think about where they're at right now as far as what their personnel is going to look like. I still like the fact that the owner, the daughter of Irsay is down on the field.
Oh yeah,
like trying to
like
learn,
that, too.
trying to understand. I think that's a real good sign for them.
That's a tough division next year, man.
I think it's
AFC
going to
South
be.
is tough.
I think the AFC South is going to be a good division, but give me the Titans at 10-7 and winning
Okay.
the AFC South.
I think you're going to get slack for that, and you're also going to get slack for the shutdown corners. I think is a little bit of a stretch, but we'll have to see. Because I'm a Panthers fan, so I've seen a lot of Alante Taylor. He can make plays, but he can also give up plays. And Flott, I don't know who he is yet. So
He's
with
from New
me,
York.
He
Came over
okay.
from the Giants.
Well, see, but I ain't gonna put it all on him either. But I used to tell my friends, like, if I don't know their name and they're in the NFL, trust me, they're not worth mentioning. So I'll say that now and let them put that on the bulletin board, prove me wrong, by all means. But That would be my only critique. That I'm like, shut down. I don't know yet, but they got paid, just like we said about McDuffie. Now they got the chance to prove it. So prove me wrong.
So
Regardless, you're paid.
what I will tell you with Alante, right now, Float is more of he gives secondary depth, right? Is he a shutdown corner? No, but you ain't had to call me out on that. But Taylor has the opportunity to be that, right? He's
Yeah,
shown it, and when you
he's
pair a
real
guy
skilled.
like that, which the reason I love him is he can guard the slot and out in the numbers. That's why I like him.
Size and speed
The
too.
more you can do, and he's physical, he'll jam you at the line of scrimmage. He's got those long arms. He can get out and he can kind of move you where he wants you to go. And when you pair that with Kevin Winston Jr. and Amani Hooker in the safety position, two hard hitting, really good ball skill safeties, and then Cedric Gray in the linebacker core. Now we need to kind of shore up some more of our linebackers. And then when you got a defensive line that consists of Jeffrey Simmons and Franklin Myers, how much time is your quarterback really gonna have to throw the
Yeah,
ball? So
it's gonna be tough.
that's where
That's for
I'm
sure.
at. That's where I'm at
Yeah.
with my Titans.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it because you did say it. I'll say it. Like everybody, come now, hop on the bandwagon because we are going to the Super Bowl.
Now, when you say
Can I
we,
say
do you
that?
mean me and you? Is like the podcast is like we're going to the Super Bowl?
Everybody, you pack your things. I'll pack my things. Tennessee, you can show up if you want to. I don't care what's coming from the AFC. So we can all go down there and make it an event. We can be live on Radio Row, everything. Because, I'm playing, but it's hard to not be serious at the same time because when you are hopeful for your team, you got to believe they can beat anybody. And my team gave me a lot of hope. And it's like I don't think it's ever been an off season like this as a Panthers fan. Like, man, Jalen Phillips, Devin Lloyd. Then they went and got Rasheed Walker, the left tackle, to plug in a need. They went and got Luke Fortner from the Saints at center to plug in a need after we lost Cade Mays. And it's like all of that made me feel like when free agency started, you get that free agent list and you see all the players and everything. In your mind, at least like my mind, you start playing Madden. Like you're in free agency Madden, like, all right, I want to sign him, I want to pick him up. We need this, we need that, and we're golden. They literally did that. And it's like for a Panthers fan, you never make a big splash and then you go and just make hit after hit after hit. So it's like day one, Jalen Phillips, Devin Lloyd. That's all I asked for. That was like my Christmas list. I was like, we can get these two guys. That'll be amazing. Just wishful thinking. I turned on Pat McAfee, literally one of the first drops. Jalen Phillips, Panther, and then 4 years, 120. A lot of people who are haters and a lot of people who don't like us and mad that they didn't sign them are going to say it's an overpay. It's like we talked about earlier. You can't overpay for edge rushers for one, and then when you're certain teams, you have to use money to attract. Everybody's not just going to jump on the sorry team. So you got to throw some money there.
That's both of
But
us. That's both of us.
yeah, exactly. So my pain. Like sometimes you got to overspend when you're a Panther. So I get it, and I'm not mad about it. And my thing is with players, it's always like as long as they buy in, as long as they want to be a part of this, and they didn't just chase the money, then we're okay because we're going to get some production. And Jalen Phillips, it's really like embracing the team. Said like he definitely knew he wanted to be a Panther, saying everything, but also like proving it. Like me, I followed him right after he got signed, and it's like he's like force feeding Panthers to whoever his fans are. So you love to see that. And then a guy like Devin Lloyd, I feel like we got Devin Lloyd on the deal. That's why I spoke about the arrogance of Jacksonville because I felt like Jacksonville said, "Huh, let's see you do that again. You had a great year. Let's see you do it again. We ain't paying you." But then he was projected to be one of those 20 million guys. And we get him 3 years, 45 was what they said initially, but it really breaks down to like 42 and some change for a guy like Devin Lloyd that played that outstanding. And he's another guy that wanted to be here. He's seen the lineage of linebackers in Carolina. We don't got
Yeah.
much to hang our hat on, but we've had linebackers since day
You
one.
got some
So he wants,
linebackers. You got some
and
linebackers.
he mentioned how Luke's still in the building. He can pick his brain. Dan Morgan's his GM. He can pick his brain. And then what I love about the Panthers and just the city of Charlotte is like when people get there, a lot of times they're stuck. They don't want to leave. When they join our team, they're bought in. Guys might get traded, go somewhere else, but when they retire, they find their way back home. So it's like he has a lot of people around him to pick the brains out of.
It's
So it's
crazy.
like,
It's crazy you said that because I I don't know where Carolina ranks on the list, but every year they do a composite of what
yeah.
cities former NFL players wind up like retiring in. Do you know who's number one?
Is it Nashville?
It's Tennessee, Nashville.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
Nashville,
would
man.
not have expected that. We have a lot of NBA players. Like Allen Iverson lived in Charlotte so long, and I was so naive that I would see him all the time and say, "Dang, that guy look like AI,"
Dude,
and just
you
it
know
never
who
clicked till it was too late.
you know who that was for me when I lived in Charlotte? Randy Moss.
Oh yes,
I would see Randy
yes.
Moss everywhere. He would come into the Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'd be like, "Man, that motherfucker look like Aunt Randy
By
Moss."
North Lake,
Yeah, because
AI too.
I used to
That's their
bartend. I used to
spot.
bartend at the one by North Lake.
Yeah,
Um,
that's funny.
I so though I knew you would be excited about the two defensive guys, right? Obviously,
For sure.
Carolina had some issues on the defensive side of the ball last year. Bryce Young really started to kind of step it up. In response to Bryce Young, you guys signed a guy that was kind of interesting to me, and I was curious as to where your not necessarily thoughts on it, because I'm assuming you're happy about it, but how do you feel about the Meechin signing?
Oh, Mechie.
Mechie. Watch. People are gonna
Uh,
destroy me. Watch. Read the
no, it's all
comments.
good. Hey, I'm here now, so we're gonna get some grammar corrected, guys. Calm down. But Mechie, I'm not mad at either. Because I was alluding to the offensive side. So before I dig into Mechie real quick, what I liked after we did defense was Icky Ikonwu gets hurt in the playoffs. We got a big need at left tackle. Rasheed Walker's out there, and I think that teams were a little hesitant because he had like that gun possession thing, but it was a legal gun just in New York. And if you're from New York or born in New York like me, you just don't bring guns from nowhere else in New York. Just don't do it, or you're getting in trouble, regardless if it's legal, whatever. So I feel like that worked in our favor where we got to land him on a prove it deal because he couldn't land that long term deal. Then we plug in a hole with Luke, and I feel like then we drop Andy, we trade him, get Kenny. So that told me that they are all in on Bryce. There. And then Mechie was like the exclamation point because you build the line, you get rid of the only vet backup you have to just bring in a guy that's you can call Kenny Pickett a vet now, I guess, but he's still a young guy. You know what I mean? He's still fighting to start somewhere. So that tells me like they seen enough in Bryce to say, okay, we can fully confidently build around you. I mean, look what we did on defense too. We're playing to win now. So Mechie was Bryce's guy, in Alabama.
Yep.
His Heisman year, Mechie had a big year. So that was just like the icing on the cake where it's like, we love you so much, we're just gonna go grab one of your guys. And you was talking about that 1.3. That's what we got Mechie on. So why not? This is Bryce's guy. He's shown that he can make plays with him. They trust each other. They know each other. And you're only spending 1. No, I think it might be 1.9. Whatever it is, under 2 mil for a receiver. You don't see that with his type of potential. He's kind of not seen his ceiling yet because of injuries. And then when he was in Houston, once he got hurt, he kind of just fell down when the Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz
Yeah, the
emerging.
900 other pass
Then,
catchers they
yeah.
brought in.
Then he gets over to the Jets and he has a running back for a quarterback quarterback. So he still hasn't even got to scratch his potential. And then so it's great. The only thing about it I would say I'm not fond of is the fan in me, and also just the scout in me, where it's like I want to see more touches for Jimmy Horn, and I don't know if the Mechie signing threatens that or not, because you already got Coker, T Mac ahead of him, and then Leggett is going to get his regardless of how good or bad he's playing before they look to those guys. So I just don't want it to like take away of Horn, because I feel like he was a steal and still has like a lot of potential, and I want to make sure he gets his love.
I think he's more of a, and I hate this, right? Because I love Leggett. I loved him in South Carolina. I wanted us to draft him. I think he's just been struggling because he's a down the field threat, and Bryce had trouble staying upright on 4 or 5 step backs, which is where Leggett really shines. Leggett's probably one of the better young 50-50 ball catchers in the league. He's fast, he's big, he's physical, he's got phenomenal hands. I mean, if you question whether this kid can catch or not, go watch him in South Carolina. Go watch him jump over Alabama and Georgia and LSU and all. I mean, but I think it threatens Leggett more because Horn.
It does.
Horn is gonna get his, right. Like, this is a dude who is shifty. He's a good route runner. He's a very good possession receiver. And at the end of the day, that's what somebody like Bryce is going to need. When it's 3rd and 6, he's going to need you to get to the line, put your foot in the ground, and cut. And that's what Horn does.
And Bryce isn't afraid to give him that chance.
Yeah, and I think Leggett might be okay. I think with, what was it? What was his nickname? T-Mac? Is that what everybody calls him?
Yeah, he doesn't like Ted.
Okay.
You call him T-Mac or Nalo, something like that. Nalo.
With the emergence of some of these other guys, and then obviously, just the tight ends that are kind of starting to make their way through that Carolina, I don't know. Carolina's weird with tight ends, but as the tight ends kind of go, I think Leggett will go.
I think that's where we're going. Like, to touch on Leggett real quick, everything you said, you need to go tell him, because he needs to remember that. Because watching him in person and then just watching him later and then playing as a receiver myself, I can just tell the confidence is shot. He's too much in his head, and it cost him, because while you're messing up throughout the year and struggling, Coker was hurt to start the year, meaning it was all yours. Then you struggle, and Coker came in and just took the bull by the horns. Like, he does not believe that he can't catch the ball on anybody or just do whatever. Like, that kid is amazing, and that hurt Leggett to where it's like you're primarily number 3 now. Like we talk about Kyle, like you're number 3 till you prove you're number 1 or 2 right now. You're definitely not 1. So he's fighting for 2, but it's like right now, Coker's a guy that's not giving it up. So for Leggett, your best option in Carolina is a 3, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded around the draft or something late like that, because it's with the Met, like we talked about Mechie, we talked about Horn, and you've been struggling. Like, you're not doing yourself any favors and giving any reason, even though the team has said they believe. We'll see, but
he's so young. I mean, it's hard to give up on a dude that you drafted in hopes of being a 1, right? You drafted, because I think you drafted Leggett in what, the 2nd? I think
first.
The first.
We traded back in to get him.
That's right. So you go and get this guy. The skills haven't gone anywhere. The talent hasn't gone anywhere. He, like you said, he's just got to get out of his head. And I think what happens with these young dudes is they drafted me, and then a year later they drafted Terry, and then Horn, and then just like these guys, and then he's just like, oh, maybe they don't believe in me. And I think sometimes these young guys forget it's a business too. Like, you got to go out and perform. And personally, skill set wise, and I'm cool if I'm the only person that believes this. I watched a bunch of him in South Carolina. Skill set, he's the best wide receiver on Carolina's team. Skill set.
When he reaches his full potential, because that's why we still try. You can't coach that size, speed, and so he just has to get it together. I mean, I hope for the best, but you got to get it done. And me as a player, especially as a receiver, it's like I feel what you're saying, but if he reacted that way, then I don't want you, because you bring those people in, it's like, okay, that's what we're doing. You think we need help? Watch this. Watch what I show you. So that's my response to something like that. It's not, oh my gosh, I might be out of here soon, I don't think they like me. It's like, okay.
But how much of that has to do with the incompetence quarterback play that he's had to deal with? It ain't like he had Brett Favre throwing to him, you know. Like he had a Bryce Young that was not confident at all. He was running for his life every time he snapped the ball, and then
it was worse. It was worse before Bryce, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, I
think quarterbacks and offensive line. But DJ Moore would still find a way to get 1,000 yards, would he not?
Yeah, but DJ Moore played a different style of receiver.
He's still a receiver.
Like DJ Moore was probably, if you put him and Leggett on a 40-yard dash, Moore's probably beating him by a solid 3 steps. Like,
okay, what about Justin Jefferson? He's still getting his, despite having some sketchy play in between time. He had some good years.
Did you see him last year? Justin Jefferson looked pedestrian last year with J.J. McCarthy's non-throwing ass.
That just speaks to how bad J.J. is.
That does speak to how bad.
Other guys will find a way. Think about Calvin Johnson before, in between Stafford. Everyone thinks that he just had Stafford. You forget Stafford got hurt a lot, and he had to deal with bums that just he's somewhere.
Hold on.
I know. That's the GOAT.
Hold on.
That's the GOAT. I get it.
He might be your
I'm
GOAT.
Just saying.
He ain't my GOAT.
He is. He's the GOAT. No one can stop that.
He ain't my GOAT.
Something different.
Look.
But all I'm saying is you got to still find a way
to
make a play.
True.
I get that stuff can be difficult. Steve Smith won the Triple Crown the year we were 28th in passing.
Again,
and he's 5'9".
Again, don't bring up dude like Steve Smith would fight his mama. Okay, like he had the mentality. Steve,
yeah, that's all I need to see from him. You got to lock.
He's got to show it. Yeah, he's got to. And I think you're right. I think he's on the team this year because he's still young. If he doesn't. If he can't progress into the number 2 throughout this year, I think they trade him because I think they'll be able to get a 4th or 5th round for him.
Yeah, he has to take it personal this year.
He's got to. He's got to take it personal. All right. Record, and where does Carolina land in the NFC South?
We have a tough schedule this year, but there have been some moves that have made some teams not look as dangerous as they did before.
Atlanta.
We still got I'm not worried. Well, yeah, definitely not worried about them. But we got Broncos on the schedule. I want to say Seahawks. I think Eagles, I know for sure. But I think we kind of mirror you, honestly, not even to piggyback, but I think we're about a 10, 11 win team. And for the NFC South, that's definitely winning the division. We just won it with 8 games. Give us 10, give us 11. We own it.
You think you win in the division?
Think so, because the only team that I would say that was in the way were the Bucs somehow, but they lost too much to feel threatened by. And then the Saints, I just absolutely hate the Saints. I hate the Saints. I hate watching Tyler Shug beat us twice and just all the bull crap they do and just beat us, but then go just dumpster fire everywhere else.
Hate him all you want.
We better beat them down. And then Atlanta, Bryce and Atlanta, he loves Magic City. So it's
hate him all you
I'm
want.
Confident.
Hate him all you want. Tyler Shug is the best quarterback in that division. Hands down. Yo,
Well, when you stay in college for 6, 7 years, you better
13
come out and do
years.
something. Yeah, you better come out and do something. He's the next Chris Winkie, so you
Hey,
got it. Well,
I
the
like New
pape's out
Orleans.
next year,
I
though.
like New Orleans this year.
I mean, you got to. I know you still, got a soft spot for him,
Oh no,
even if they ain't your
I ain't never
team
been a
team.
Saints fan.
Yeah,
So what I like about the Saints, they went out and made moves, right? Like
you always got money
you
somehow.
somehow found a way to go get Travis Etienne and keep Alvin Kamara. Like I don't think people understand how ridiculous that backfield sounds. Like Etienne
Alvin's
and Kamara.
Alvin's only good against Carolina right now, but ETN, yeah, I didn't like that. I'm like, I don't want to see him twice a year.
Man, that's just and I mean Charles Oliveira is I mean a phenomenal wide receiver. I think he's going to really blossom with Tyler because Tyler's got an arm, and I think those two things are really going to go together. I I think New Orleans wins the division, but I think they win it by again. I had New Orleans winning 11 games. And that's just because Atlanta and Tampa are just not. Those are 4 wins
No.
for each team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But no,
I think
it's ours.
Carolina and New Orleans split. I think New Orleans wins at home, and I think Carolina wins at home.
I'll live with that because it's better than 0-2.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's
for
like
sure.
that's the only team I will accept a split next year in the division because they keep beating on us, so you can't try to act like you're that better than them. But we better handle Tampa, better handle Atlanta, and then split one with the Saints. I'll live with that.
Yeah,
And then we find 5 other wins outside of the division.
and that's what I mean. I think I think that's the common denominator between both divisions is there's 2 teams in each division that each team, like Houston and Tennessee, should go 4-0 against Jacksonville and Indy. Just like Carolina and Atlanta or New Orleans should go 4-0 against Tampa and Atlanta. All right, y'all. So I got a story for y'all for Ain't No Way this week.
What we
And
got?
I need y'all to tell me, am I tripping? But I'm sitting here scrolling. You know I look for crazy stories. And I get this article name across the top, and it says, a zoo in Denmark asked patrons to donate their pets, not as attractions, but for food.
Ain't no way.
So,
That's ridiculous.
like, I mean, now we're gonna get into the article, kind of clarify some things, but could you imagine just sitting at home and you just sitting here scrolling through TV, and then you see something pop up and say, "Hey, if you got a dog that you don't like anymore, bring it on down to the zoo. We're gonna throw it into the tiger pit and see what happens." Like, that's just.
Hey, I got a candidate. We got a dog named Honey, little Chihuahua Terrier. Yeah, she's going on 2. No, she's 1 now. Hasn't learned how to stop being a puppy, chewing. Doesn't want to be potty trained. Don't want to go outside. Always tearing something up. If they need something, them Danes can come through, and they catch us on the right day. They might get some honey for them tigers.
So, all right.
Sweet meat.
So let me kind of get into the article because I know at this point a lot of people probably heard me say that and already tripping, right? So a European zoo stirred up intrigue and controversy after a social media post asking for surplus pets to be donated. First off, what the hell is a surplus pet? Like, I don't know what that is. Tell me in the comments. Do y'all know what surplus pets mean?
Sounds like a cat lady.
Yeah, like
lady.
yeah.
You
So
got
it's
20 cats. We can hold 5, right? Let us feed this tiger.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they asked for the
Which is
surplus
crazy
pets
still.
to be donated to feed captive animals. All right. In a Facebook post, the zoo in Denmark asked people to donate unwanted pets that would be gently euthanized and fed to predators in captivity. There's a part on this next article, on the next part of the article, that I think maybe should have been a part of the headline. Because as we just said, dogs, cats, things like that. But then it goes on to say chicken, rabbits, and guinea pigs and horses were the animals that they were talking about.
That's still crazy. I don't care. It's like you still asking for like a horse. Oh, you don't want that horse? You got a horse you don't want anyone? Let us kill it for you. Like,
Like,
I know horses ain't cheap to buy.
and who
And
just
then
giving
to
out
give it
horses?
away,
Like, who's just giving
so
away
you can feed
horses?
a tiger? No way. But I do know another zoo that might be able to compensate these guys here in Denmark, because I got a little ain't no way, ain't as crazy, but
Oh,
still raises eyebrows.
tell
So
us.
a cargo ship came into the New York, and held in the like cargo chamber, they find this beautiful, nice, healthy, still looking red fox on board. No one knows how he got on board. They didn't check his ticket.
They didn't check
He
his
didn't get
ticket.
his stamp. He didn't stamp his passport or nothing. He was stowed away, chilling. And they believe that something they're still trying to figure out what he survived on. Because like when you see the pictures, you see everything, like the fox looks healthy. But if you know anything about cargo ships, they don't just skip across the pond. It takes a few weeks to get, from one port to the other. So that guy was there hanging around for a while. But what they did with the fox was they actually donated him to the zoo,
To the
but not
Denmark
for
Zoo?
food. No,
Oh,
not for food, but to the Bronx Zoo in New York. So
oh.
he's out there living his best life right now on display, and I just guess the zoo got a free attraction, but he better watch how he acts, because the Danes might come
Oh,
looking
could
for him
you
if
imagine if you just walking on a cargo ship, like you and some people walking on a cargo ship cleaning up or whatever, you find the fox, and then somebody goes, "Hey, you know something? I just said an article that Denmark Zoo's looking for surplus pets to get."
You know what's crazy? What if the cargo ship was leaving from Denmark? He's like, yeah, I'm out of here. They talking about donating
Oh
yet.
my God!
Let me hop on this ship.
Look, y'all. As that's ain't no way. If y'all want to go ahead and check the articles out, go ahead and check them out online. But make sure that you are always keeping up with the crazy things that we at the Full Blitz Podcast on Ain't No Way find to tell y'all about. But guys, that's our episode for this week. Make sure y'all are continuing to rock with us. We are only getting better. Head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, follow us wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you hit the follow button on TikTok. And y'all know me. I'm your host, Big Easy, my man.
Darren, don't call me Dusty.
Hey, it's going to stick. That's going to stick. Hey, y'all.
It already does.
Peace and love. We'll see y'all next time.
All right.
I like it, my man. Don't call me Dusty.